Hey everyone. Today is all about looking at the model we use to get results for people and how we do it, and keep it relatively simplistic because it should be. You should not be overly confused or more confused than what you are right now, because that's not helpful. So let's dig in, right? The predictable commerce model, right? You might be thinking, why do we need a model? Well, everybody needs a model because it helps you know what to do and when. So the primary thing that having guidance does is allows you to understand what to do and when. The idea is here that I explain to you where your focus should be. Because if your focus is in the wrong place, you've only got limited mental capacity, you're not going to be able to perform, and your business is not going to perform. 3 stages really to this framework, and it is evidentially proven to grow sales, right? So I'm going to go through some of the results that people have had by using this. Why am I doing that? Because I believe that looking at other people's success can inspire you and excite you as to what you can achieve. That's what is going to ultimately drive you in life and drive you in business, knowing what you can do if you push things in the right direction, and having that internal belief that what you are doing is going to propel you in the right direction. I'm not going to labor these, but at the end of the day, we've had people that have gone from wherever you are right now and have pushed and achieved that next step up quite significantly. 0 to 6 figures, 1 to 5, 2.5 to 20k, 10k to 50, sales doubled year on year. Chris is somebody who's been recently joined our program. His record sales in May. May is traditionally not a great month at all. And then Mel, somebody we worked with some time ago, exited her business and bought a home. So we helped her build it to the stage where she could exit the business. So what I want to impress upon you here is that what I'm talking to you about is rooted in success and rooted in things that have actually made a difference to people's business. It gets results. And there's 3 stages: attract, activate, and amplify. You need to do all 3 if you want to be successful. If you are not focused on the whole picture, which is what I'm going to go through with you today, then you are likely to miss out on things that will deliver you the profitability that you need to grow. At the end of the day, your business is about getting more customers and more sales, and then keeping those people buying from you. So whatever you've tried to read or tried to understand previously, it all boils down to that. And I'm going to go through the most basic calculation you need to be able to do to be successful. The 2 figures you need to get right, essentially. So what happens normally, and you might have done this, most people focus on one area. So they get absolutely obsessed. The Facebook ads is all they need to think about. They're ignoring the rest of the picture. And that leads to a fragmented approach in growing your business. People come to us and they've had that experience. And it's like the jigsaw breaks. So if you try and focus on one thing and you ignore the others, it doesn't function well together. You can use advertising and amplify your brand, but if your message isn't right in the first place, then amplifying the message is pointless, because people aren't listening and people aren't converting off the back of it. So you're trying, if we go back to the stages, you're trying to activate into people into making a purchase, but your methods of attracting them in the first place are not solidly defined. So look, why listen to me? Well, we set up Predictable Commerce to help people, and my mission is to help people at all kinds of stages. We've got the free group if you have not got a business yet. We've got a membership program if you are growing your business from 0 up to $1,000 a month. And then we've got a higher end program which helps people make significant movements in sales. And I'll explain how we can discuss those at the end of this as well. But we've introduced a 3-stage model that's helped these people get these results. And the key thing you need to know is that only 2 things actually matter. 1, how much does it cost you to acquire a customer? And what do they spend over the lifetime? From a cash flow perspective, this is all that matters. For example, if it costs you $20 to acquire a customer, and then over the next 12 months they spend 100 with you, then you can confidently scale that process and you are only limited by cash flow. Now, initially, they might only spend 60, right? And then they might come back from you and buy again and spend another 60, so that's 120. Your first point of acquiring them, because you've got this acquisition cost involved, is going to be less profitable than what you get from them when they buy from you again. Which, going back to the jigsaw, is why it's dangerous to focus on one area and not the big picture. First method, attract. If you have not got this dialed in, if your sense of product market fit and the importance of every prospect, every customer, what's going through their mind is they're thinking, why buy this product from this business right now? And those can be quite tricky questions for you to answer. But if you haven't answered those, then essentially you're missing out on that initial attract stage, because you have to give people a compelling reason to buy from you at that point in time. And if you're not establishing that, you're missing out on being able to convert a higher percentage of people, which brings down your costs to acquire and therefore makes it easier for you to be profitable in the long run. You've got to establish product market fit. What is the problem you are solving? I don't care how small that problem might be. It could be an aesthetic problem, so just based on how something looks. But there has to be something that people dislike about the way something's done, and that you and your product can solve that, can step in. So you need product market fit. You need to prove you can sell these products, or you need to prove that they've got scope to sell. You need to have good brand identity. So what is your brand all about? What's the voice of your brand? What's the tone of your brand? What's the personality of your brand? These things matter way more than you can possibly imagine. These things matter. Branding isn't everything, but the way that your brand communicates is everything. Because when you come to compete in a marketplace, it's the personality and the identity of your brand that is going to help people want to do business with you and assimilate with buying from you rather than somebody else. And then you've got basics you need to get in place. Have you got basic SEO set up? There is training in this group for that. If you want it, drop a comment below. Have you got your socials set up in a basic way? Are you focused in on one particular channel that is where your audience is hanging out? Again, there's training, pop a comment if you want that. Content marketing, have you got some sort of voice to put out into the world? Are you thinking about the 3 E's? Educate, entertain, and engage. They're the things that matter to get people to take an interest in you and your brand. So I hope that's clear. That is stage one. Are you positioned well enough to attract people when they actually come to you? Now, activate is about getting them to make that purchase. Now, if you're running ads before you've got this attract stage right, what's going to happen? Well, you're not going to connect with people. You're bringing them in, you're amplifying, you're shouting with your megaphone, which is what an ad is. Hey, come over here, look at me. They come in, things aren't right, they aren't feeling that connection with you, something's off, you haven't established why this, why you, why now. They bounce away. Your ads aren't profitable. It all falls down because you focused on trying to activate them into a buyer before you've got this basic foundation enhanced or established. Every time you ramp up your marketing, you need to change the way and enhance the way that you attract people. Enhance that branding. Let's move on. The activate stage is literally this. You're taking your message, you're taking your product, you're taking your why this, why you, why now, and you are amplifying it on a bigger scale to get people activated into becoming paid buyers. So what's going to be the main drivers of that? This is the most important stage that you get, and without acquiring customers, you haven't got a business. So you have to acquire customers, but you have to have the basic foundations in place to be able to acquire customers. You need organic growth. Every business needs some form of organic growth or some form of organic connection with people. You need to look at paid advertising, whether that's something low budget that can get you really good results when you're a really small brand, and we've got loads of strategies for doing that, or whether you're a bigger brand, you're running paid ads and you want to optimize your conversion rate. So whatever scale you're on, you're always looking to refine this and improve it. But this is the second step, and this is the bit that we get right for people because we've established this initial underlying foundation first. So let's assume that you're able to get your message out there and activate people into becoming buyers. You're selling your products, you're growing. What happens if you let go of the third part of the jigsaw? You're not maximizing that lifetime value and you're not pushing the average order value. So you're letting go of these things that are going to have a potentially very large impact on your business. So the third stage is amplification. And this is where it becomes extremely important to retain customers. It's something that we're really, really proud of in the way that we do it. We help people retain customers, very high percentage, much higher than averages throughout e-commerce and throughout the industry, because this is where a bigger proportion of your profits is going to come from, because you haven't got any acquisition costs at this point, or if you have, they're extremely small because people already know you, they've already bought from you, they're willing to do it again. And no matter what market sector you are in, you have to have a method of getting people to buy from you again. I've spoken to people who did not think that was possible, who have found ways. I'm really, really proud of the way that they've gradually changed their business around so they can build in more of an angle that allows them to amplify their message to existing customers, because that's where a proportion of profits that are made are far more meaningful than those on the initial acquisition phase. So what are you doing to retain people? That's the key thing here. Is your retention percentage over 30%? Your repeat buyers, are they over 30%? That's the key thing. We've got some people who are up to 50. That's outstanding, and it's a testament to how well they are doing it and how well they are implementing what we're teaching them. Are you upselling and cross-selling to raise your average order value? If your cost of acquisition is $20 and you're selling an average order value of $40, you're only going to get a 2 times return on ad spend. Let's say you raise by up your average order value by upselling and cross-selling, you might get that to 80. All of a sudden, you've got a 4 times ROAS. You've got to raise that. The person who can spend the most to acquire the customer wins. That's the aim of the game that we're in. And then going back to what I said at the start of this, cost per acquisition versus lifetime value is all that matters. How much can you acquire a customer for, and what do they spend over the next coming months with you? Cost of acquisition versus lifetime value. I hope that has sunk in, because that is what all of this boils down to. The 3 big areas that we focus on. I hope that's helped. So to wrap it up, right, to conclude, do not just focus on this one small area, because that is not going to pay you dividends. Every time you raise the game and you're trying to do more and you're trying to attract more people, you're going to struggle again, and you're going to have to refine things, and you're going to have to look back at all 3 of these stages. So it's no good just becoming obsessed with ads and trying to win by technically hacking the algorithm and, becoming some sort of ad expert. We want to be ad experts, right? But nothing converts better than a prospect seeing you and being able to answer why this, why you, why now. That's what sells. The ad just gets it in front of people. And the only purpose of the ad is to get them to click through to your website anyway. So, look, 3-stage model, simple, clarity, no more spending time watching YouTube for 20 hours on a night and still feeling confused because one person says this, someone else says that, and you're not sure where you're going with it all. If you want to explore this in your business, go to markladson.com/call and we will chat it over for a very short 10 to 15 minutes, see if we're positioned to help you, and then explore as a consequence how we might be able to do that. All right, take care, all you lovely people, and I will see you in the group throughout the week. Goodbye.